Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Million Dollar Media. With me today we have.
Terrell Franklin.
And today we're going to be doing a different kind of video. Something that we're not usually doing, but we're going to do like a little fun discussion video. Basically discussing who do we think should be the DCU Batman. There's been a lot of online discourse about theories about who it should be, who it's going to be, what kind of Batman they want to go for. But today we want to basically discuss what we think the DCU Batman should be. And me and Terrell have discussed in the past who we think it should be by basically saying that we think that they should just roll over the Matt Reeves Batman into the DCU. Correct?
Yeah.
I'm curious, before I go into the list of things that I have to say, why do you think that should be the case?
Honestly, I was very surprised by Pattinson's portrayal of both Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just worked very well. It felt like I was watching a detective at work, but also like a young man dealing with his trauma. And then like as he gets older and kind of like is contrasted with what we're seeing on Superman's side of the world, I think it's really the epitome of what I usually imagine like the world's finest would be. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just like his portrayal. I think I like a slender Batman because he is like a ninja at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like this like brooding dude being contrasted with like a best friend who is always just like I have to do the good thing. I have to put a smile on people's faces like regardless of how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Matt Reeves Batman would just make this universe kind of come together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I very much agree with you. I have various other reasons why, but like for character reason, I definitely think that version of Batman would fit well in this new universe. Especially again with, as you're saying, someone who's still trying to find out who he is. And the first movie, basically him coming to the realization that he has to be more than just a guy in a suit beating the shit out of criminals.
Right.
I don't know. That's just, there's something interesting about that. If you were to do this version in the DCU, I have various other reasons why I think it could work. If you want to just hear them out.
Yeah, 100.
We're just going to go into the reasons why we think the Batman should be in the DCU. We will counteract ourselves in a bit. But with this new version, Matt Reeves and James Gunn have a good working relationship, it seems. Like, they both respect each other in the idea that at the moment of recording, they both realize that they are doing two very different things. However, there have been multiple reports of Matt Reeves being very hands-on with stuff going on in the DCU. Specifically, he was brought on to help cast the new Clayface, which is supposed to be in the DCU. So, and people called out James Gunn like, hey, why is he brought in? If he has nothing to do with the DCU, why is Matt Reeves involved in the Clayface casting? And James Gunn basically said like, well, he knows about Batman, and so you would want him involved into his thoughts on the overall process. So it's like, okay, that's interesting. And the other thing is, he is a producer on this new animated dynamic duo movie, which is supposed to be about Robins. I think Dick Grayson and Jason Todd.
Yes.
So there's that going on. It's a Batman project at the moment in which it has James Gunn as a producer, Matt Reeves as a producer, and at the moment of recording, we don't know if it's specifically going to be in the DCU. We've heard that they're trying to make it work for the DCU so that we can explain different Robins, but it still is interesting. If that's the case, why is Matt Reeves involved? So yeah, that's kind of one reason why we think that they're slowly starting to think about merging these two universes together. Terrell, I kind of want your thoughts on this. James Gunn has said before that he wants every movie to feel different, and people have said like, well, tonally the Batman doesn't fit within the universe that James Gunn has set up. What do you say to that?
It would be like, to your same point, like the Clayface movie will not feel well. If the Clayface movie is in the DCU, that is basically going to be like a horror, which honestly fits especially well with Batman and his villains. If that's going to be tonally different so bad that it seems like it doesn't fit, like that is exactly the contrast between like what a Gotham would be versus what a Metropolis would be.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of merging those words, and I bet once we bring in a Wonder Woman, I bet you that's going to feel totally different from those two. Like I think that like. No, I'm going to say that argument's kind of mute.
I very much agree. That's why I was kind of curious on your thoughts of this. And also, another thing, going on to what, just Clayface in general, behind the scenes have shown that they are shooting in Scotland the same place where they shot the Batman. Which honestly, I'm really curious how they're trying to explain all that right now, because that is a huge, that is a big coincidence in my opinion, that you're shooting what's supposed to be Gotham in the same place.
To me, like it's just a coincidence, and this is also a stretch on my part, but like I honestly could see it being as much of like a cameo as like Keanu Reeves was in the Ballerina movie. Like
Oh wow,
like if
yeah.
like centered around someone else, but like I feel like they're keeping it low key
Hmm.
just so it can like really make people excited much closer to the day of. I do think that especially the DCU's model of like not trying to announce too much too early, and then like as the days, like they're almost like breadcrumbing the
Hmm.
way into the movie. I think that's been working very well.
The only thing I'm worried about is what you're saying there about the whole comparison to Ballerina. Is that I hope we don't get a situation that happened ultimately with like Morbius, where they made a whole big deal
Yeah, yeah,
about the Vulture, Michael Keaton's Vulture being in Morbius, ultimately for it to be a
yeah,
post-credit scene and ultimately a big marketing ploy. However, I don't
yeah.
to counteract myself, I don't think James Gunn would stoop that low. He doesn't seem to be a guy who does like fan service like that very much. But I do like your idea of just like what if like in that movie you just get a big Batman cameo from the Robert Pattinson's Batman. I'm really that'd be kind of cool. It would kind of get people excited for his movie, his sequel movie that's supposed to be coming up. Which, by the way, to explain in universe why we haven't seen Batman yet. Like apparently, from what we have heard about this new The Batman Part Two, it's supposed to be Bruce Wayne kind of not sure if he wants to be Batman anymore because of the events of the first movie, like him kind of figuring out how
Right.
he wants to be this kind of character. So that can easily explain why we haven't seen him.
And it's actually still on brand with the first movie because like he's like the Batman is still kind of like an urban legend. Like we
Mm-hmm.
get that from the first sequence of that movie. We kind of get that at that very long sequence after the terrorist attack
Mm-hmm.
to where like he's kind of rescuing the people in the big flare scene and everything like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's where like people are experiencing him for the first time, but like they go out and spread that story, and then like
Mm-hmm.
if the Batman disappears for a little bit, especially after those events, like that kind of that adds to the urban legend of it. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the movie going in that direction is perfectly on brand. I think it's continuing very well. It's not trying to do fan service to a lot of people. It's still being that gritty story, that kind of like moral compass
Mm-hmm.
debate.
We also have to. The Batman is also connected to the TV show The Penguin, so we have to involve stuff that happened in The Penguin. So,
Yes,
like
yes.
in that show, we have established that pretty much every crime figure, like the Maronis are gone, the Falcones are gone, and it's just Oz. And at the end of that show, they make a big deal like, "Who can touch me now? I'm on top." And you see the bat signal. We never see Batman, and this did in our review of the show, which you could watch. Shameless plug. I did point out where the fuck was Batman this entire time, because like shit was getting blown up, entire crime families are just now wiped off the board, and Batman is nowhere to be seen except for a bat signal, and no one even mentions him in the show.
Right.
So that could also explain so many of these other things. Like, okay, what's going on? Like where is he, Bruce? What are you doing? So yeah, there's that too. And regarding the wider DCU, this can also explain why like Superman may have showed up. That's why things are kind of in the Penguin are kind of fast tracked into be getting better. But we just didn't hear about it because like in the DCU they have made a big deal that these bigger, larger than life shit like a literal kaiju can just storm down Metropolis and people are just on their phones. If Superman showing up wouldn't be that big of a deal in this universe, or like stuff like this happening wouldn't be that big of a deal. And it also can show like why people just like, man, don't even go to Gotham. It's flooded, it's crime ridden. Don't even bother.
Yeah, they treat Gotham like dirty dots.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And also one other thing is that a lot of people have said like there's no larger than life fantastical elements in the Batman. I beg to differ. Oh, actually, I'm kind of curious. What do you say to that?
That's the appeal of the character for me,
Mm-hmm.
because is the whole reason why there's like this running joke that the rest of the Justice League just thinks he's keeping his power secret. Like you look at the situation that Gotham is in, and then just this rich boy just comes and saves the day. I'm curious to see like where your argument is of like that might be false, because like I do like the like I think part of the appeal of that movie was the groundedness of it. It's just like, how does this mere human make this situation disappear?
Okay. Now, I will agree with you on, like, I like that is the tone of what that Batman is, of it being just like a guy. They make a point in that movie that Batman is self-funding his own stuff. So everything that he has is something that reasonably someone can make on their own. So, like, his Batmobile isn't that crazy compared to, like, the Tumbler or the Tim Burton version. Like, someone can make that reasonably.
Right. And for clarification, there's no Lucius yet either, right?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
But here's the thing that I do call bullshit on, and I don't think we have in our reality. And if we do, please call me out. Recording contacts. Like the camera contacts that he has that record
the one that he gave Selena.
Yeah, and they make a big deal about that in the movie, that he has these contacts that can record stuff. Now, this could be a huge leap. However, there is a character in Superman that also has contacts that do the same thing, Mr. Terrific.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yep. Now, Mr. Terrifics are obviously way more high tech, but they do kind of do the same thing, right? Making you think, huh?
Dude, I didn't even pay attention to that.
Well, it was just an interesting coincidence because I watched the Batman recently for Halloween again, because it's just that kind of movie. And I just was like, holy shit, they make a point to show like Mr. Terrific has like the white eyes to like in the comics. He's got the same kind of contacts. It's just that his are connected to his T-spheres, whereas Batman's are just meant to be like recording so that he can watch over this footage. But I thought, what do you know? Yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. So there are fantastical elements. Now, that is the least fantastical element thing in that movie. Keep in mind, I also have to point out, in the Penguin TV show, they introduced this new super shroom called Bliss. From what I know, that is connected to Poison Ivy's character in the comics.
Right.
So they are setting up characters like Poison Ivy in the Batman universe, or something somewhere around like that character. Like, I also have to point out, it's kind of interesting how both the Batman and Superman bring up, like, poke fun at internet culture kind of similarly. Like with James Gunn making fun of like internet trolls by making them monkeys, whereas the Batman makes fun of internet like QAnon and dark web people into these like masked murderers and stuff like that. Basically taking these really comic book elements and bringing it into a real world setting. That's just a little connection that I think is kind of interesting. It's not that far of a stretch. Now, when it comes to things like Creature Commandos setting up the idea that Dr. Phosphorus was running around Gotham at the time that this Batman was supposed to, that is a bit we'll see. Like, we'll see how that fits into everything, because I honestly can't see a character like Dr. Phosphorus fitting into the world of the Batman, but we'll see how Clayface, if they do it.
Honestly, I think we made Batman too much of a hero, because honestly, like, just imagine like the actual fear you would have of like somebody like just tall and brooding in a bat suit dealing with also like horrific monster, let alone like what the absolute heat they've been throwing out in the Absolute comics.
Oh my god.
Just in their base states, just like all of his villains, like, to me Killer Croc is one of the scariest things ever.
Yeah.
to me, Scarecrow is terrifying. And I think Nolan's Scarecrow was pretty okay
for that universe.
Actually, for that universe he was good. But like, imagine like they go like, if they're going the horror route with Clayface, imagine what they do with Scarecrow.
Holy
or like
shit.
Like what they do with like Zaz and stuff like that, like that, or like the Mad Hatter, like those. I think keeping it grounded, like I think keeping it grounded like that would be so crazy.
I know Mad Hatter's tricky because that character is now a pedophile, but also so is Deathstroke.
Yes.
But
I was just about to say the same thing. I'm like, let's talk about Deathstroke and Terra.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, then again, also technically so is Hal Jordan, but we don't really talk about that either. yeah, but we don't talk about.
We're getting Jon Stewart right now. So.
Yeah. But they're never gonna talk about that again. But going back to the Batman stuff, I have one theory regarding a connection to the DCU at the moment that they could tie in. Obviously, in the Batman at the end, Gotham is flooded. In the show Peacemaker, Adebayo and her wife, or now ex-wife, are from Gotham. And they make a whole point that they left Gotham because their business failed. I think if you want to kind of slightly turn it in, like connect the two, you can say they both left because their pet shop got flooded.
Right.
You can do that. Now, the timing is a little off because Peacemaker Season 1 came out before the Batman was released. So, timeline-wise, it's a bit fuddled, but you can kind of mix things around a bit. And then, just kind of dovetailing into reasons why we think there should be a new guy, I just want to bring out this point. They have said multiple times that the movie The Brave and the Bold is supposed to be a Batman and Damian Wayne story, or Bruce Wayne and Damian Wayne story. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to make their Batman different, by basically doing the Robin stuff. I'll just say this. Personally, we have not seen this version of Robert Pattinson's Batman's quote-unquote Jesus years, where he was, training to be Batman. So we don't know if he's connected to the League of Shadows. From his fight style in the movies, it's kind of unlikely. However, I'll say this. I do believe that this Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne has horrible pullout game, and I definitely think that he could have gotten Talia al Ghul pregnant.
Yes.
It's not that hard to believe that this guy doesn't know how that shit works, because he just gives off that vibe of just like this loner, mentally ill dude who's just like, well, things happen, and I just don't really think about the repercussions. So he could have gotten Talia al Ghul pregnant, and he could have a kid that's reasonably 9 years old now.
Like, and he has money. He doesn't care about those repercussions.
Exactly. And the Waynes in this universe are now known to be guys who do hush money.
Oh wait, is that true?
Well, like in the movie, like they had a point in the movie where it's
yeah.
Hush is a big word. I'm sorry. That's a lot saying that word. Sorry. I mean, I would hope they do hush, but
they need to.
But hush money in the literal sense of just like, hey, just make this go away. It's like, I definitely think Alfred would be like, Bruce has a what? Oh, God. We can't, no, we're not doing this. I don't know. I think that'd be really interesting to do for that character. All right. We're going to move out of the reasons why he should be the Batman in the DCU to moving reasons why he shouldn't be, and we should get a new guy. And I kind of want to hear your opinions before we kind of go into it. Like, if we're supposed to get a new guy, why do you think we should get a new guy?
Well, one of the biggest things, it's like the opposite of like the argument I kind of stand by.
Mm-hmm.
It's that like a Batman that can kind of like tonally match the DCU thus far. Also, I'm thinking like like Corn Sweat is a tall dude, and like if we want like especially like the DC Trinity to look aesthetically pleasing, you need somebody like taller than Pattinson in order to get that, because Corn Sweat is like what is he? He's like 6'8" or something like that.
He's a tall. No, he's not 6'8".
He's not 6'8", but like
he's like an absolute Batman. Which I'll say this honestly, with how popular that version of Batman has become, I think you should kind of lean into a little bit of that aesthetic if you want to make your Batman for the DCU different.
Yeah,
I know one of the popular fan castings is Alan Ritchson, who plays Jack Reacher on Reacher, and honestly, with how jacked absolute Batman is in the comics, it could work.
He's a unit. I think it could work. I think Richardson did a good job of like being Reacher and like going from his like funny guy roles to like a serious role.
Mm-hmm.
Also like Reacher being like very smart. Like it works. It's just I can't imagine him in the cowl. And I mean, I could see him playing a Bruce Wayne, but like I can't see Richardson in a cowl. That's what's getting me. And then it's gonna be like the gray and blues and yellows.
You know what the thing like is? I'm the exact opposite of you. I can see him in the cowl, especially if you really lean into like the absolute Batman kind of thing of just making him just like this brick shithouse of a character. But if you do that, because I think they want to do the billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne. How many billionaires do you know look like Alan Richardson?
It just like there's no way you don't like. You look at that unit, and there's no way that you don't put together that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Like he's huge.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a stretch. However, I do think that there is another popular fan casting, and it's an actor that I barely know, but from TikTok I now know. His name is Brandon Sklenar. Have you heard of this?
Oh yeah. Oh no, I haven't heard of this one.
So he is an actor who is famous for the show called 1923. It is a spinoff of one of the Yellowstone and that whole Paramount universe of like shows that your uncle watches.
Oh yes. Okay.
So he is an actor on the show, 1923. And from what I've seen, the dude looks like Bruce Wayne.
I just pulled up a picture right there. Like some people edited him on it already. He looks like a Bruce Wayne.
And in some of the clips I've seen, he definitely has that like charisma to portray not only a Batman but a Bruce Wayne. Like I
Yeah.
think he could really do well in the role. And he's also
I
in
think
that.
he feels like the comic, like Batman
Yep.
Bruce Wayne.
You know what he reminds me of, and this is the tone I want this DC universe to do with Batman, especially with the whole Robin element. He reminds me of what the DC AMU Batman is. Like,
Yes, the DCAU.
yeah, like the animated
Yeah.
like Son of Batman, Batman versus Robin, that stuff.
Yes.
Like he looks like that kind of Batman. Like when I think of Batman,
I can see that.
yeah, like I wouldn't say he reminds me of something like the Kevin Conroy Batman, but he definitely reminds me of that kind of Batman, which is what I want to see, especially if they're going to do Robins. And honestly, the only thing that I would be sad if it is the Robert Pattinson Batman being this guy, you do miss out on a lot of really cool characters by omitting Robin in general. You'll miss it on Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Barbara Gordon, Tim Drake, Cassandra Cain, Helena Wayne, and Damian.
Yes.
Like, there's so many really cool stories you can tell with those characters. And that was the thing that James Gunn made a point about saying, is that, like, we are going to explore the Bat family. So I feel like if you were to do Robert Pattinson, you don't get that because he's just so young. Whereas and I did look up the age of Brandon Sklenar. He's 35. That's like the perfect age for a Batman who has all these Robins, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
And I know that, like, I mean, I have a question because I know you like Robins as a character. Like, what Robin do you think? I know we're gonna get Damian Wayne, but like,
Okay.
What Robin do you want Batman to be at this point?
Because
I know you're a
I am a
particular fan.
big,
yeah.
I am a huge Tim Drake fan. So what we know the Teen Titans are in development, which I feel like they're gonna make Tim Drake on that one. They're not gonna make it a Dick Grayson one.
Teen Titans without Dick Grayson seems weird, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like. There's a lot of debate if it's Tim or if it's Dick, but I think it is. I think what they're doing, especially if they're bringing in Damian, I'm sure it's going to be Tim.
Yeah,
I would like to see Tim, especially like the all red Tim,
Red
Robin suit.
Yeah. Cool.
Like we're like before he even goes to the Red Robin mantle, like just like still Robin, but it's like red-ish.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, like his costume.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. I don't know, like. I do want to see what they do with Damian because I feel like Damian has, like, especially in the DCAU, hasn't been done in a way to where like the majority of fans can appreciate him, because like a lot of them are like, oh, he's annoying. I'm like, no, you don't get it. He hasn't seen his dad in like 13 years.
He's a kid. He's a fatherless child. He's his crazy ass mom has raised him in this cult with his grandfather's will. And yeah, he is supposed to be like a kid that's unlikable. And the idea of Batman as his dad is like a weird, fucked up dynamic because Batman shouldn't be a dad, but he is. And I don't know, like, I feel like the beauty of Robin that I don't think any of the movies have ever really got is that it's this idea that this guy who lost his family at a young age can turn this tragedy that happened to him and find a way to fix these kids that have had rough lives. And so like the best thing Batman has ever done is Dick Grayson. The fact that kid can grow up to be this happy of a person and still help people from all the shit that has happened to him is truly amazing. Honestly, if anything, I would want to see like the DCU Batman stuff to have a trilogy that shows all the different Robin stories. Like I want the first movie to be about Damian. I want the second movie to be about Red Hood. I know you don't like Red Hood, but I definitely think he should be at least explored in movies.
I don't dislike Red Hood. I don't like them making Red Hood a brute. He's like he loves, like, he's a smart kid. Like I think making Jason like this kind of like boneheaded brute, it's not true to the character to me.
I agree. I don't know what you would make the third film, but I definitely think at least you should have it involving the Bat family in some way. Like make it like Batman fully recognizing that he has a family. I don't know. Like that would be the beauty of that, in my opinion. And also just make it, if you're going to make this Batman supernatural, give him some supernatural ass villains. Like, don't, like, if you're gonna make the Batman be like the Riddler and maybe Hush and Court of Owls stuff, like, have villains like, well, Clayface is gonna be introduced in this world, and you have Dr. Phosphorus. Give us, as you said earlier, Killer Croc. Give us Deathstroke. Give us like some really comic booky villains. Give us, or just give us some really gothic ass villains. I don't know. Like, I think that'd just be really cool. I think we pretty much said our thoughts, right? Is there anything
Yeah,
else you want to say just real quick about what you would want to see if you can't get Robert Pattinson?
I honestly think that James Gunn will do a good job of making that come to life. It'll take a little bit of adjustment because we've had like 70 Batmans,
Yeah.
but I think it'll come out good.
And I guess the only thing that I say is going to be really difficult is just as an audience who, I mean, I always put the test up to my parents. Like, are they understanding what's going on? We'd be like, oh yeah, this Batman's not this Batman. This is this guy, and this takes place in this universe, not this universe. It's gonna be really difficult if you're that person in your family going forward. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun talking about this. This is I'm glad I got to like nerd out with you again. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please like, subscribe, and share. Please follow us on our Patreon, where we're going to be releasing a bunch of really cool stuff coming soon. I'm going to make a video talking about that kind of stuff very soon. And yeah, with me today we had
Terrell Franklin.
all right, have a good day.